As a business purchase solicitor, I understand how complex business acquisitions are. Getting the legal side wrong can lead to unnecessary legal issues and wasted money. So in this video, we'll cover the main principles that you should be aware of when buying a business in the UK. We'll be covering four main things. Number one, whether you should do an asset purchase or a share purchase. Second, what are some of the things that you should be looking out for when conducting legal due diligence? Third, is the purchase price going to be fixed or based on performance? And lastly, what kind of finance is available out there to help you with that business acquisition? Great, now before we get started, and if you're new, let me quickly introduce myself. I'm Zoppi, an English qualified solicitor and the managing director of Zoppi, my firm. And on YouTube, my goal is to make business law and acquisitions easy. Make sure to stay until the end of the video to find out about the different stages that you have to go through when buying a business. Great, now I'm going to be sharing my screen, and this document is actually linked in the description below, so feel free to download it right now. It's free and you can have it for your future reference. Great, so regarding this first point, if you are deciding between a share purchase and an asset purchase, let me just very quickly explain the key differences from a legal perspective. In short, with a share purchase, you're buying the entire limited company and everything that comes with it. So as an example, you're buying the entire basket with all the fruit inside of it. With an asset purchase instead, you're not buying the limited company, you're just buying certain assets from the limited company. So going back to that example, you're not buying the basket with the fruit, you're just cherry picking some of the fruit that you want to buy. Now I'm going to be focusing on one key thing because I believe it's one of the most important things you should check from a legal perspective. So if you're doing a share purchase, you should be looking at change of control provisions in the contracts between the target business and their customers and suppliers. Now, a change of control provision in this case would allow either the customer or the supplier to terminate their contract with the target company if there is a change of control. Now, a change of control usually is defined as more than 50% of the voting shares are sold to a third party. And the reason why you should be looking out for this is because if you're buying a business based on the great relationships it has with suppliers, or with the strong contracts it has in place with customers, for example, subscription contracts, you want to avoid the case where you take over the business and suppliers and customers now have the right to end those contracts. Instead, if you're doing an asset purchase, you'll want to look out for the right to assign. Now, the business will need to have the right to assign certain contracts to you if, for example, you're looking to take their customers. Because you won't be buying the entity that is a party to those customer contracts, you'll need to be assigned the rights and obligations of that contract by the business to you or your other business. And that is only possible if the contract stipulates that the business does have the right to assign those rights and obligations. If you'd like to learn more about the kinds of questions that you should be asking a seller of a business about their business to make an informed decision, make sure to watch this video right here. Amazing. Moving on to the different kinds of purchase price mechanisms. The first is performance based. So for example, you might decide that 50% of an example purchase price of £100 is payable on completion, so the day that you take over the business, and that remaining 50%, in this case £50, is going to be affected by the performance of that business. So if the business makes more profit than anticipated, you might end up paying the seller more money. But if it makes less profits than anticipated, you might have to pay less money. The second option is to do what they call a black box. And that is when the purchase price is fixed and is not affected by the performance of the business. So it's £100 and it's going to be £100 today. And regardless of the financial performance of the business 12 months down, even if there is an element of deferred consideration, then you still have to pay to reach that £100. Now, before we move on to discussing the type of financing that is available out there to help you buy that business, make sure to subscribe to the channel because it will continue to give you practical, pragmatic, and to the point legal information and templates. Also, if you want professional legal advice with buying a business, make sure to reach out. I've left in the description below my details, such as my WhatsApp number and email address. Feel free to contact me at any time. Okay, so what kind of financing is available? We have three main types that I could come up with. The first one being asset leveraged. And that is when you approach a lender and you give them as security the assets of the business that you're looking to buy in return for money. So for example, if the target business has premises, then you would get something like a mortgage that is secured against the premises of the target business. The second option is to use invoice financing, and that is when the invoices that the target business has sent to its customers, but the customers have not paid yet, are used as security to get a loan. Okay, amazing. Now moving on to the last option, seller financing. Put in simple terms is when you pay a little bit on completion, so the day you take over the business, and the rest is deferred over a period of time. Effectively, that is the seller giving you a loan. Now, before you proceed with your business purchase, make sure to watch this next video that will tell you exactly how to buy a business and the different stages involved in your business purchase journey. Watch it, is right here. Thanks for watching.